Right, in today's lesson we're going to learn how to froth milk for lattes. What some people do is they just steam the milk for lattes, but you can get a much better result if you get a little bit of air into the milk before, right at the very beginning, before it heats up to the proper temperature. So what we're going to do, we've made our coffee shots here already, and what we're going to do is we're going to steam the milk for a latte. So the first thing to do always is to purge the steam arm, and we do that just by giving it a quick blast. It heats up all this pipework, and then the four little nozzles we start right at the very bottom, turn the steam arm on, and we're going to just get a little bit of air in the beginnings. I can feel warmth, that's enough. Notice that the pitch goes down as well. Always have a clean cloth nearby so you can immediately wipe the wand, and again don't forget to purge it as well. So we've got, haven't got a lot of froth, but we've got sort of microfoam in there, which is what we want for really good latte art. So okay, so you've got your nice golden crema shot of coffee in your cup there. You've got your milk, which if it has any big bubbles you can just tap out. Give it a swirl. And good latte art is all about having the right coffee, the right milk, and the right application. So just pour it on. There you go. So what we've got here is your nice golden crema, and it's mixed in with milk, which is just beneath it, just beneath the surface. So if I just touch it slightly, you can see the paleness of the milk just underneath. And when somebody drinks that, they're drinking the coffee through that really creamy, luxurious layer. And if you manage to have some kind of pattern on the top, although that does take practice, and I know that you can do a better job than I've done there, then really you've cracked it. Those lattes, or if you can make lattes at least with this consistency on top, will put you miles ahead of most of the competition out there. So let's try this one. Fantastic. Cheers. Okay, after you've frothed your milk, give it a slight bang to get rid of any large bubbles that might have been created. Give it a swirl to mix it all in as well. And then you're ready to pour. Now, good latte art revolves around having a good crema on the coffee and frothing the milk just right. And finally, just pouring it right as well. So just pour it in. And through. There you go. Okay. Right, this time we're going to make a cappuccino, and the only difference between cappuccinos and lattes really is how much air you get into the milk to start with. So with cappuccinos we're going to get quite a lot of air in to give the volume to the milk, and the only real difference that you'll find between cappuccinos in the UK and perhaps cappuccinos that you might find in Italy or on the continent is really how much air the barista gets into the milk to start with. In this country we're a lot more used to having some kind of texture to the milk, which is a lot drier a foam, so we're going to get as much air in as possible. This contrasts to, say, somewhere on the continent where it's a lot wetter a foam, where they don't get anywhere near as much air into it. So we'll do both and you'll see the difference. First things first, we always purge the steam arm. Gets rid of all the condensation and any milk that's in there. This time we're going to start right at the very bottom again, like with the lattes, but this time we're going to lower the jug and have the little holes at the bottom just beneath the surface of the milk, and in doing so we're going to whip air into the milk, and you'll hear it as a sort of spitting sound. So the faster you do this, the better the result. So maintain that spitting noise as the froth comes up the jug. There we go. Right, don't forget, as soon as you take your wand away, give it a really good wipe with a clean cloth, and again don't forget to purge it to get rid of any milk that's inside the nozzle there. Again, you can get rid of any big bubbles just by tapping it. Now this is what I mean by quite a dry foam. If you take your spoon and you tip it upside down, it's so dry that it sticks to the underside of the spoon without falling off. So what that means is that we can actually texture the milk, take it next door actually, when we pour it on. Now cappuccinos are roughly a third coffee, a third steamed milk, and the top third, only the top third, is the frothy milk. So the way I tend to do it is I pour on my milk until we're around about 2/3 up, and then I put on my foam like so. Now everybody has slightly different techniques, but you can see now what I mean by having quite a dry foam. You can actually have some kind of shape to the foam on the top there, and then you can finish it off with chocolate flakes or chocolate sprinkles or something like that, and there's your cappuccino, having a nice golden rim round the side and having a nice frothy consistency to the milk on top. Now what we'll do next is do something which is a lot more akin to how they do it on the continent, in Italy for example, where you wouldn't necessarily get this sort of texture to the foam. It's going to be a lot wetter foam. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, this time we're going to make another cappuccino, but we're going to do it in the sort of continental Italian or French style. We're not going to get anywhere near as much air into it, but we're going to make it a wetter foam. It won't have so much, it won't be as dry, so it won't stick to the underside of my spoon anymore. But when we pour it, we'll just pour it in one go, and you'll see the immediate difference between the two. So off we go again. Again, remember the golden rules. You purge it to start with. Start off at the bottom. This time we're going to get about air into, so that it's about halfway up, and then as soon as we've got the froth halfway up the jug, we're going to plunge it back down and swirl what air we've got around into it. So fast, again, the faster you do this, the better it will be. So as the milk starts to come up, you just lower the jug. It's about halfway up the jug now, so I'm not going to get any more air into it. I'm just going to stop it. That's plenty hot enough. Again, purge and wipe just to keep it clean all day long. Right, this time tap it again just to get rid of any big bubbles. And you can see immediately it's a lot wetter. So again, okay, so here we've got foam which is a lot wetter than before. Finer bubbles even. We're just going to pour that one on, and again just finish with a sprinkle of chocolate or chocolate flakes. Here you've got a lot flatter foam. You won't be able to texture it so much, but that's essentially what I mean by having a wetter foam rather than a drier foam, which the UK tends to go for. Okay.